Hello, welcome to this impromptu, unrequested commentary between Lucas and BoboMcBob. BoboMcBob? BoboMcBob? One of those. We've got donate, so we click donate pretty quickly. Let's look at our dual types. Game. Where are the dual types? Where are the dual types, game? Okay, so Courtier is questionable. Possibly good, honestly, given they have displace. I think I'm opening Silver Groom Donate and hoping to hit the Groom turn 3. That's the plan. Groom can gain a couple of silvers, honestly, the first time through. Merchant, Rat's Bishop. Rat's Bishop is too slow. Displace will get all the provinces before Rat's Bishop gets enough points. I'm pretty sure. Displace gets through the piles very quickly. I do not believe in Rat's Bishop. You just need multiple lost cities and then your opponent's drawing, or multiple towns and your opponent's drawing. There's a minimal draw. I feel like Silver Groom, you groom for like a town. I wonder if you can use Rat's Bishop short term though. So you open Silver Groom, you go down to Groom and 3 coppers or something. Groom Silver 2 coppers, Groom Silver 3 coppers, and then your first Groom gains a Rats, and then your second Groom gains a Bishop, and you buy a town, and then you thin the rest of your cards with Bishop Rats. So you do like 3 iterations of Bishop Rats to get thin of the coppers, and then your deck is just towns and lost cities and displaces. And then you get 1 Courtier to gain a gold every turn. Something like that. Groom can also gain silvers and then displace them into 5s that you want. So maybe you can use some stables draw. I don't know, this is tricky. I think I'm going Silver Groom pretty much always here, though, no matter what other strategy I'm adopting. Because I can use the Groom the turn to pay off the debt. Town. It's a nice draw for Lucas here. 5. I mean, you don't see the Groom, but you see 5 coins, which is pretty nice. And you take your donate here. And now I think you go down to... Yeah, I think I like going down to Silver 2 coppers maybe. No, Silver 3 coppers seems fine. And then we gain the Groom. And then next turn we hit 5. So we Groom for a town and buy a Bishop and trash a copper. And maybe we can save our horse. And then we play the Rats 3 times to trash the coppers. So we have 4 Rats. We Bishop them 3 times. And then we add. Man, I think we just want to play stables draw, though. I would consider just going down to Silver 3 coppers. And I would go down to Silver and 3 coppers. And then Groom for a town. Pass by this turn. And then next turn, buy a stables. The turn after that, buy a displace. And then, we're very close to just... And then buy a gold, and then the turn after that we're pretty close to just provincing out with displaces. We need to get one lost city or something, but we can displace a silver into a lost city, and then Groom for the silvers back, which is fine with the stables draw. So we can play with 2 displaces, 2 stables, 2 lost cities. That deck just accelerates incredibly quickly with the mostly deterministic shuffles. I think you want 5 coins here so you can afford stables next turn is the thing. But they are doing something different than that. I think this was a little bit... I think just the merchant stuff is slow. Merchant is adding 1 coin to your deck. Well, they have 5 coins now. Yeah, but I can't discard Merchant for stables. I mean, I see the point. So Bobo I'm slightly confused as to what has happened here. Bobo... Oh, they have a town. They don't have a groom. Wow, they don't have a groom. That seems terrible. Okay, this should be a town now. And a stables. Okay, I'm actually okay with the displace given the deck state right now. They have 2 horses. They can displace something into a stables. They can displace a horse into stables. Nice. That's really nice. They can play Merchant Horse Town and then displace a horse into stables and then groom for an action to get the horse back. That's smart. That's very smart. So yeah, displace horse into stables. I think stables is the best card for the deck. And they're gonna hit 5 here. I would consider grooming for another town. Oh no. Why not displace the horse into it? Why not displace the horse into it? That's a mistake. That's a big mistake because they have a merchant. And you didn't gain the silver back either. You just displace the horse into stables and then merchant gain another town. And then the horse comes out of discard and then you can buy a lost city. And then next turn you can look to like displace a horse into displace and just start spinning. Meanwhile, Bobo is just playing basically donate big money, which is going to go very badly very quickly. The displace deck should more than be able to crush that. Okay, so Lucas desperately needs to get silvers back now. So I guess you groom for 2 silvers here. And then draw them back up. What? What is happening here? I'm so confused. What does the second courtier do? This seems like Lucas has not thought through the plan. This seems like Lucas has not thought through the plan. The second courtier does nothing. I mean, even if he doesn't realize that, he knows he doesn't have any in his deck. If that courtier was like any other 5 displaced Lost City stables. And as we see, Bobo's deck is no longer capable of making 8 money. It can just buy another gold, sure. Now, they had a stables now. This is bizarre. This is very bizarre. Yeah, it's very bizarre. Okay, so Lucas has made a couple of blunders here. They just need to, I think through. Like, we have a merchant, so the silver's a fine card for the deck. And then you say, but I don't want treasures. So you say, okay, well, we'll draw with stables. So this is, like, stables seem like a very good card for these decks. Stables or Lost City are the draw cards. You want to play with either of those. And probably both. And given that Lucas already has a bunch of towns, I would prefer the stables. Yeah, we just have that second courtier should have just been either a Lost City or a stables, and the deck is doing fine. So here we displace gold into province. We displace gold into province first. Lucas, we displace gold into province first, and then we courtier gain a gold, and then we courtier gain coins. Okay, we can still do it. Displace gold into province, courtier gain gold, discarding the gold, and we can buy a stables. And you're still in the game. The trick with displace is to displace gold into province and then somehow gain the golds back. And that's what courtier is doing here. Good. Good. And if you're worried about draw, which maybe we are, you can actually do that the next turn. Oh, they're going for bishop. And we bought more Lost Cities. I don't really want to draw my opponent's bad deck cards. Like, we have actions with town. And stables, given we have coppers, stables is actually drawing more cards effectively than Lost City is. So we're just helping our opponent to hit provinces faster with their line. I think if you're going to do this bishop stuff, you need a couple of stables in the deck. And it's not clear to me that you take, I think, well, okay. Let me say this. If you're doing the deck that Lucas seems to be doing, I don't think you take any provinces in your deck. I don't think you want any provinces in your deck. So yeah, we can bishop gold, groom for something, courtier gain a gold, or courtier take coins. Oof, oof. I kind of want courtier take coins and buy stables. I think Lucas's deck needs 2 stables in it to get this deck to work. And then with the stables, we can hopefully regain the golds next turn. Yeah, stables is like by far the best card for this deck, though. And by far the maximizing your scoring here. Second displace. So the thing is, they're not going to be able to play their displace every turn because they're not drawing deck. So one thing I think that people don't track is adding in multiple copies of a card that they want to play rather than adding in cards that let them play the one copy more effectively. So what I'm thinking is you add a couple of stables here, and Lucas could already have like 3 and be drawing deck, and then the one displace we have, we can play every turn, plus we can do gain and play with this merchant. We can then play all our stables, draw deck, and then display something, draw the thing back up with the merchant or whatever. Or we're adding in lost cities because we need more villages, but we have plenty of towns. We're just not drawing them because we didn't add stables. So I think like 3 stables, and then you can play your grooms more often to gain more towns, and you've got plenty of village effect going on. That being said, Bobo did not build a particularly good deck. Sorry if that's slightly harsh. So as Lucas here, I'm thinking you can do display. I mean, you might go displace 2 golds into province, gain a gold back, and then dare your opponent to province, like say I'm going to win the game next turn. But so that would be my thing. Displace 2 golds into province. I really don't like these lost cities. I think they're very, very bad for Lucas. They're not doing anything for the deck, and they're helping his opponent. The town is also not doing anything because, or the merchant's not doing anything because we don't have any silvers. So I just don't really, I mean, maybe you take 1 lost city early on, but I don't think Lucas needs any lost cities in their deck. I think if they'd taken 2 provinces and a gold last turn, they'd be in an okay shape. To double here, because pretty sure this town is drawing stuff, and most likely card for it to draw is a gold or a lost city. And it is just very tough for Bobo to province twice in a row if you happen to miss. But you just really don't want to be getting them lost cities because their deck is pretty rickety. That being said, like, if you just need stables to get the deck online. Stables is the most important card here. But yeah, I mean, and if we're gonna do bishop stuff, we need to be bishoping. We need to be aggressive about it in bishop golds. Like bishoping coppers is okay. That's fine too because we have too many of those. And here we can like displace gold into stables. That seems fine. You're going to gain golds back. Yeah, displace gold into stables seems like the best thing to do. Again, stables is just strict. I think stables is just strictly better than Lost City here. I don't know that Bobo can ever take 2 more provinces in this deck as they add duchies without the good cards. It seems possible that Lucas has forever to build here, or until they can 3. Oh, Lucas should just have a win on this turn then. This might even be it in hand. We're very close. We can town for coins, courtier for coins, displace. Yeah, we have 8. We have a win in hand here. Courtier for coins, town for coins, displace, gold into province by province. We have a win in hand here. They do not want it. Okay. That was a win in hand, right? Someone who's listening can double check me. Yeah, so Courtier's town is 2 coins, Courtier is 3 coins, gold is 8 coins, and we displace gold into province, and then we have 2 provinces in the game. So just I think you need to stop and say what is at the beginning of this turn. You just say what is a win. Okay, I have a displacement hand. I have displacing gold. Okay, so I'm always playing displace gold to province. How do I get to 8 coins? And then okay, what generates coins? Courtier can generate 3 coins. Town can generate 2 coins. So if I could play town, Courtier, gold, displace gold. So if I ever have those 5 cards in my hand, that's a win. Just take more golds, I guess, or stables. Oh, don't take whatever you do. Don't take Lost Cities. It's the worst card. Lost City is like the worst card for your deck. That's, I think, the biggest lesson for this game is like the Lost Cities are actively hurting Lucas. Like a stables is just strictly better, and you're letting your opponent hit 8 with all your Lost Cities. Like Bobo has hit 3 more provinces than they should have with their deck because of the Lost City gains for Lucas. It's just like a free flag bearer that you give your opponent for the entirety of the game. And now the pilout's a lot harder. I mean, it's not that much harder. We're almost here if we find the other gold or the Courtier. We can... This is a win in hand, actually. We have a win in hand if we stop and think. Okay, we're not stopping and thinking, sadly. We had a win in hand with 3 towns for coins, displace bishop into duchy, by province estate. So now... now we have to play town for card action and hope to draw gold. And if we draw gold, Lucas wins. Bishop town, displace gold into province. Bishop town is worth 3. Huh? That gets us to 28. Displace gold into province gets us to 34. Good call, Kubu. Yeah, so bishop town is a win here. So, just like coaching advice, if you're playing with bishop, you have to say, okay, what am I bishoping? I'm typically going to be bishoping golds. I don't want to bishop anything other than gold in this deck, honestly. The second Courtier was fine because you don't really need 2, but I want to bishop golds. So how do I gain golds? Okay, Courtier. And then stables can draw through a deck that has a bunch of random golds in it, and displace can, in the meanwhile, use the golds to gain provinces. So that's all well and good. Are they seeing it here? They are seeing it. Okay. So with bishop, you say, okay, what's the most expensive card in my deck that I can bishop? And that's gold. And then in your final turn, you say, okay, well, can I bishop any random action for coins, which is what Kubu immediately thought of and took me quite a while to get to, and Lucas got to without help from Kubu. So that's a win there for Lucas. I think Bobo just didn't build a good deck. Lucas made a couple of mistakes, so hopefully they can learn from this. We'll just move right on into game 2. Okay. We have okay. Student is how you thin. I'm not happy about it. I think you open student with card from Band of Nomads. I'm not happy about it. With student, I've found you pretty quickly need to add silvers to your deck, because it gets very, very quickly you thin all your coppers and then your deck is bad and you have to take time. Yeah, I think like student with plus card from Band of Nomads to get the student into the deck is fine. On a 3-4, on a 4-3, yeah, on a 4-3, I'm definitely doing that. Take the plus card here. Okay, so neither player wants to use their Band of Nomads. This is like the best case for Band of Nomads. Xerix taught me this, is turn 1, you buy a thing and then draw a card. And then you are reshuffling on turn 2 with a 1 in 6 chance to see the thing. And if not, you see the thing in 3 or 4 coppers on turn 3 and are pretty happy. Okay, yeah, for both these players, this should just be trash a copper, buy a silver now. Okay, I have no idea what's going on then. I have no idea what's going on then. Why are you getting the student if you're not going to trash? I guess now as Bobo you take Guildhall. So they're doing like a Guildhall thing. Yeah, and now as Lucas, you hope you grabbed enough silvers early on. They did not really. They had that sad turn 2. They should have bought a silver turn 3 instead of an encampment. Yeah, I think both these players are neglecting Band of Nomads. And actually with students, you can draw Band of Nomad. You can draw the student dead if you trash a copper, which sometimes you actually want to do, weirdly. It's just been an odd game. I hate not trashing. Why are we opening with a trasher if we're not going to trash? We'll get to play whatever pirate we do buy later more often. I am the Dread Pirate Roberts. What's the next line? There will be no surrender and no survivors. That's when Andre the Giant is wearing the Holocaust cloak. This, and now, oh yeah. When you say the name of that object out loud, it's a strange name. It fits so nice, he said I could keep it. Have you given any thought to piracy, Kubu? You'd make a wonderful Dread Pirate Roberts. So conjure with encampment or gold or something. Like you can conjure. No, I'm just not really seeing. I'm not seeing what's going on. Neither of these players seem to have a coherent plan. Like if I'm doing the student pirate Guildhall thing, I want to aggressively thin with students and get a couple of silvers along the way. And like I think if you want to trash with student, it's very slow. You just have to commit to trashing almost every chance you can get, and then buying a couple of silvers. And every so often, like when you're at the end of the shuffle, decide to pick up decide to not top deck it or trash the hovel or something. The double conjurer line is quite interesting to me. The triple conjurer line, even. That seems like too many conjurers. At some point, we have to conjure some silvers or something. Right? I'm not seeing what we do without conjuring silvers. Without buying a silver, then? Like, and obviously it's sad because Bobo has two things in play. They just pass. What is their deck doing? Lucas's deck doesn't do anything. The deck doesn't do anything. I'm so confused. I am so very confused. Ooh, trashing the Evergone Estate for the card is nice. Draw with encampment. No. We have to draw with the encampment. We want to buy this plunder. We really want to buy this plunder, right? So we have to hit 5. So we need to draw with this encampment to hit 5. This is why I mentioned, like, if any time these encampments were silvers, we could have hit a gold and kept all the encampments. Wow. Okay, we did draw. We have to use another encampment, obviously. No, we hit 5 here, so we can conjure a silver, buy a plunder. Not going to conjure a silver. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on then. So I assume we just trash this Overgrown Estate here and buy a province as Bobo. That seems fine. You've got coffers built up. You've got the pirates to gain more golds. Pirate money is probably not going to be terrible in the end. I don't know. I don't think Lucas has put enough good cards in their deck. And we're having to give back all of our encampments. Ooh, we don't actually have to give back all the encampments. And we can buy another plunder. I think given this VP deficit here, oh my goodness, that is a lot of conjurers. That is a lot of conjurers. Specialist is nice, given that you have a limited number of encampments. Specialist can be nice to specialist encampment. Why did we do that? Unclear. Okay. But we start with specialist encampment plunder, so that's quite nice. I would have considered buying the plunder there, because you only have one in the stack and you really want to keep encampments. For Bobo, you just trash a copper here, buy a province. That seems pretty easy. Bobo can start using the Band of Nomads to draw cards at the beginning of the turn. Yeah, so specialist encampment here is going to be quite nice. Since we have all these conjurers, we don't need to actually specialist gain the encampment, because we're basically drawing deck and we have these conjurers that... Okay, stop here. Student trash a copper, redraw it with encampment. This is important. We should student trash multiple times this turn, 3 times if we can. Yeah, so trash the copper. Now play the market. Now trash the copper. Now play the encampment. Now trash a conjurer, probably. I don't think we need that many conjurers. We're running out of things to conjure, I think. But yes, okay, so that turn played out quite well, I think. I think you buy here... I wanted to trash a conjure. I think you buy here... You need one more plunder in this deck for it to work, because your whole deck falls apart if you don't find a plunder near the top or a gold. I think you have to buy one more plunder here as Lucas, and then you look to add a specialist, a second specialist, and then a sorcerer, and start doing things like specialist on plunder, playing sorcerer, giving out curse. Why did we rotate? Why do they want another student? I am confused. Or they just didn't want to give their opponent access to the pile. Yeah, the student that we knew we were about to draw. We didn't know we were drawing that copper, though. I mean, I guess we kind of know. Oh, my goodness. Lucas, you could do slash undo. I'm facepalming right now. So here's the thing about the Sorcerer. If you read the card very carefully, you can only hit a person one curse a turn. Unless there's something to change the discard pile, which there is not. Oh my goodness. Lucas, you need to use slash undo. So, as cursors go, it's not like you can spam sorcerers and give out a bunch of curses like you could. Like if there's a witch here, all of a sudden we grab a late witch and spam the witch. It doesn't work like that. Okay, we're getting more students. Okay. Ooh, nice. I would still student trash this Conjurer because I think the Conjurer is bad for the deck. I think you want one Conjurer at most at this point of the game. How are we affording a plunder now? Oh, okay. We had the one coin in play. So, here's the issue with Lucas's deck. If the plunder is not at the very top, they're going to lose all their encampments. And then next turn's going to be very sad. I don't know why we're still trashing here as Bobo and not using Band of Nomads for draw at the beginning of our turn. Because we're having to spend coffers here. We could also use it for buy and gain coppers. Distant lands. So they're just extending the game out now. And that doesn't make sense to me. Like they're gonna win they're gonna lose the long game to the deck that has more draw and more engine pieces. Yes, this is very sad, but expected, which is why I said they should buy the plunder. Second plunder last turn. Probably what you want to do is both specialist to plunder if you can. And here we definitely need to like trash some students, trash some conjurers. So we want to get rid of 2 conjurers and student trash 2 conjurers basically this turn. That's fine. Because the conjurers are bad for the deck. Now you can't play them all. There's not stuff to gain. Like you gave back 2 encampments, so you want to keep 2 conjurers. But all you do here is buy it, or you play no conjurers. Yeah, you want to play a couple because you don't want them. Well, I was gonna say you don't want to draw them, but if you draw them, then if you draw them, if they're starting your hand, there's another thing you're drawing. If there was like a harbinger or something innocuous that you could gain. So yeah, here is Bobo. I don't see any reason not to start using some of your favors for cards. Maybe you look for a big mega turn where you have a ton of favors in the end of the game, and you just draw like 3 or 4 extra cards, like a big splot, and then take an extra buy with Band of Nomads, almost like a tactician. Fun fact, if you have 7 favors and you start the turn by gaining a 3 cost, you can use Band of Nomads as tactician. That's pretty sad. Alright, so here we can specialist 1 encampment, and then I would definitely specialist the plunder to gain another plunder. Obviously after we've conjured up some encampments. No, you can't. It's once per gain. What's once per gain? What did I say that you can't? Oh, it's only once per gain? Oh. Then we should absolutely not save up more than 1. Okay, so what did we do wrong this turn? We didn't play specialist on encampments. And then because of that, we didn't get to specialize draw deck, and we didn't get to specialize plunder. Okay, so more plunders, I would say, for Lucas. Oh, Grave Robber's interesting because we can Grave Robber some of these conjurers. Uh, but yeah, so if Lucas had done Specialist and Encampment last turn, they draw 2 more cards, and then they can Specialist on... and we knew they were missing encampments they were going to draw. And then they could have Specialisted a Plunder, so they play the Plunder once and gain a second copy for very little cost. So they would have had basically the same number of coins, 1 fewer buy, which they didn't use anyways. And yeah, this is just like, this is mitigable. The issue that they're having is mitigable. Mitigable? I think that's the right word. Mitigable. And okay, so here we just, yeah, we can Specialist Plunder now. I don't know if Lucas knows that you can Specialist Treasure cards. Specialist says Treasure cards, so like Specialist Plunder seems very, very strong here. And then probably, honestly, like a Cartographer is the best card for their deck. We trash the Student. Yeah, I mean, the Conjurers are... Yeah, we should trash some of these Conjurers. We need to get rid of 2 Conjurers. And we can trash... Yeah, we can trash a Conjurer. I would take 1 Cartographer here, actually, just because we need a little bit more sifting. But this is fine. We can Specialist the Plunders now. Hopefully they realize you can Specialist Plunders. You can Specialist a Plunder. Oh my goodness. Is the UI not letting them do that? What's happening? I'm very confused. Why didn't they Specialist a Plunder? And Bobo's going to buy a province here. I don't know why they stopped for the thing. But I think Lucas is in okay shape still. They can get triple province pretty easily. They're down 13. They score 2 points with plunders each turn. So they just want to build now to triple province next turn. And they can conjure back some of these encampments. They can Specialist gain some golds. They can Specialist gain some more plunders. They can even Specialist distant lands is a thing that one can do. They can even get some provinces this turn. Like, they could Specialist Grave Robber into and turn 1 Grave Robber and 1 market into provinces this turn. So here I would definitely think a Grave Robber into province, and then conjure some. Yeah, Grave Robber the Grave Robber into province and conjure some. It gains a Student. That can't be right. They want to turn a Grave Robber into province, I would think. Markets don't seem like they do very much to me. It seems like you could pretty easily double this turn and then, or single this turn and double next turn. So but like with 2 Grave Robbers in deck, you just Grave Rob 2 Specialists into provinces, and then you win the game. So that seems like the plan for this turn for Lucas. And if they don't somehow do that, they just take 1 province and it's slightly harder, but they win next turn. So Bobo does have a favor in play, so they can take an action. They're going to get 8 points next turn, 13 points. So Lucas does need to win this turn on triple provincing, which should just be Grave Rob 3 cards into provinces, which I'm seeing pretty much in hand. We have another Grave Robber, right? So we draw the other Grave Robber, we Grave Rob 2 things into provinces. We can even Grave Rob Lich into province, which is kind of nice. But yeah, this is just pretty easy. Grave Rob 3/5 costs into provinces, and the game is over. They don't seem to see that Grave Robber is working here, which is confusing. I would assume that's why why are we playing a Student? I see no reason to play a Student at all in this kingdom anymore. I'm really confused. Why did they click on Grave Robber? Grave Robber trashes an action card from your hand and gains a card up to 3 more. So if they click Grave Robber, they can Grave Rob 2 markets and distant lands into 3 provinces, and that gets them to 43 points and a win. I'm really confused by what they're thinking here. They still have a win because they can Grave Rob. What are they doing? Why do they keep playing the student? I'm so confused. Grave Rob the Lich into province. I think they still have it. They're just doing a lot of... I don't... Like, if they never clicked... Everything that said student going back 2 turns made no sense to me. Well, now they're not doing it. Now I don't think they win anymore. You turn this Lich into province now? Maybe they still win. But it was a pretty easy 3-pile this turn, or province out this turn for Lucas. If they'd stopped and thought about how Grave Robber works a little bit more clearly. So Bobo adds 11 victory points next turn if they remember. No, Bobo can buy a province here even. So Bobo adds 14 victory points if they remember to take the plus action from Band of Nomads. So if they gain a gold here, they can even gain a Carto actually, and Carto this distant lands to put into play next turn. Which they probably should have done. How many encampments did Lucas return last turn? Okay, not so many that we can't find some here. So again, Lucas just Grave Robs 2 things into province. That gets them to 51. They play both plunders. That's a win. So this is a win in hand, actually. Grave Robber both markets into province and buy an estate. It is not clear to me that Lucas fully comprehends how Grave Robber works, because Grave Robber on market should just end the game immediately. Okay, well, perhaps I am wrong. Okay, they could have done this last turn, for sure, but maybe there ends up not being much danger because their deck is a lot better, so they're able to add multiple points. They're getting all these plunder chips and more distant lands and stuff, so good game for Lucas. And I'm going to call that a commentary, with Lucas having won both these games, but hopefully some learning points for both the players.